I've been seeing a lot of people talk about Gruul Delirium in Standard, but how powerful is it really? Let's find out. Alright, in today's video we are taking Gruul Delirium for a spin in Standard Ranked Ladder Best of 3. I'm still on Best of 3. I have tried Best of 1 a little bit recently now that I've found out how popular that format is, but I gotta say, that's a frustrating format and it may not be for me, but I'm not giving up on it just yet. We'll see for a future video. Anyways, before I get into this deck a little bit, I guess we'll talk about it. I want to say thank you. We hit 400 subscribers, a new milestone for my channel. Thank you very much to all of the new people who joined up on the last Boros Convoke video. Now that Boros Convoke deck is still pretty good. It got me into Diamond like very easily. However, I didn't say in the deck explicitly, that deck is very much rotating out in 20-30 days, something like that, with the next update, the next set that comes out, Edge of Eternities. So do be very cautious with that deck. I don't know if it will be able to survive. It's probably not. Knights Errant rotating out is a huge hit to the deck, and we are going to lose a lot of lands, but we're getting shock lands back, so that's cool. Anyways, on to today's deck. I've been seeing a lot of people talking about Gruul Delirium having a ton of power, and I have faced it a few times. It can run me over. At other times it kind of doesn't really seem to have enough power, so it seems to be a matter of whether or not you can get Delirium going quickly enough and you have the right draws. Now we have a lot of powerful cards that function with Delirium in the deck. I'm not going to talk about everything because, well, we're going to see the deck in action and that's going to be the best way to test it out. But I do want to mention a couple of the Delirium specific cards in the deck. Patchwork Beastie is the first one. It's a 3/3 for 1, which is a great stat line, but it can't do anything until we have Delirium, which means we have 4 different card types among the cards in our graveyard. This card also mills 1 card at the beginning of your upkeep, so it is going to help enable that Delirium. The other mentionable Delirium card is the Wildfire Wicker Folk. This will be a 4/3 haste creature for just a red and a green mana if it comes in when you have Delirium. So this is going to be an all-star Delirium card. Breakout, not really Delirium, but it's a good way to fill our graveyard, and as well as the Fear of Missing Out, the Tessa or Tursa over here, and then a couple of other cards. And the last card that I want to mention that has Delirium in the deck is the Violent Urge. You have to watch out for this card. If you are not familiar with Delirium and you are playing against Delirium opponents, they might suddenly have a double striking, double attack situation going on. I have seen cases where the opponent has a Fear of Missing Out, they have Delirium in the graveyard, which this has Delirium too. It's going to give extra combat steps. You all know this. This card's running around everywhere. They have this on the field. They have like a Wildfire Wicker Folk, and then they give it double strike with this Violent Urge. So suddenly this thing is attacking in for like 16 points of damage out of nowhere on top of the 2 damage that's coming in from the Fear of Missing Out. It's a really good way to die very quickly on turn 3. It's kind of possible, I think, in some very ideal situations. Anyways, this is the deck. We're going to spin it through some best of 3 games and see if we can climb a little bit in Diamond. Again, thank you very much for the subscriptions. If you can, subscribe up again, help me grow, and let me know if you prefer best of 1 or best of 3, because I'm still trying to figure that out. Alright, let's jump to some games. Alright, Gruul, misspeaking there, Delirium time. Really hoping that this deck ends up working out for me. I really love the idea of Delirium. But I have played it a little bit when the bans first went through that first few days. This was one of the decks that I did try out very quickly, and it was okay. I would say that I didn't really jive with it all that much, and maybe there are some underlying play patterns that I don't fully grasp yet. Maybe that was the problem, but I wanted to give it a second chance because it seems powerful. Lots of people are talking about it. So we'll play that. Now, while my opponent is deciding what they're going to be doing, a quick little thing. If you, I'm always kind of curious how people watch my videos. If they skip the intro, if they go right to the gameplay, or if they watch the intro and then don't even watch the gameplay. How are you interacting with my stuff? I know in my case, when I watch videos, I tend to not worry about the deck tech intro stuff very much, and instead I go right to the meat of the video. I want to see the games. I guess we're just gonna start getting frisky with this. So if you did skip over my intro, we hit 400 subscribers. That's pretty cool, a nice little milestone. If you can continue to help me out, if you're one of those people who are watching this stuff but did not subscribe, could you please? Yeah, that's cool. And let me know if you do skip over the intro and go right to gameplay, or are you one of those people that just watch the gameplay? Or sorry, just watch the intro. Or are you one of the other camp? There's another camp, my favorite camp, those people who just click on the video, go to the description and look for the deck list, and then get out of there. Could be the case. I don't like this Terra, so I'm going to remove this Terra from the field and continue to smack the opponent with the now 4/3 trampling Wickerfolk. Now, notable, if you're playing this deck, Patchwork Beastie is an artifact. So for Delirium, it is a very important card for your graveyard because it is going to be giving us 2 cards in 1 card. If you are playing against Delirium, if you're exiling something from their graveyard, that might be a good card to focus on. The opponent with the Boiler Bilges, very powerful, but we find our Keen-Eyed Curator, which is actually a pretty good card in this matchup because the opponent is going to be trying to reanimate stuff from their graveyard, so this little annoying Raccoon Scout is going to be able to start munching away at their stuff. So this says, Surveil 2, you gain 2 life. If this spell was cast from your graveyard, exile it, then put it on the battlefield. Okay. It's not. Oh, was it? Maybe it was flashbacked. I actually skipped over that. So it is going to come. There's nothing we could really do about it. And then it's going to reveal cards from the top of the library. If it's a permanent card, put it into your hand. Okay. So they get a Terra, and we have a Raccoon, who might be able to actually get up to a 7/7 Raccoon. Which... If only Fear of Missing Out were even more overpowered and had haste. Imagine that. I guess it kind of can have haste if it has if it comes off the breakout. Okay, we'll take that, and so we currently have. Ooh, hang on. Cancel. We currently have an enchantment and a creature underneath the Raccoon. I want to get up to Delirium with this card, so I guess it's just taking the land now. Okay. Sorry, opponent. We hit the Seed of Hope, and we are helping them. I guess I could be taking cards out of my graveyard because I have enough in here. Oh, artifact creature as well. Should mention that. So let's do that. We can take an instant out of our graveyard that doesn't heal the opponent. And now we have a trampling Furry Boy. We attack in, why not? And now what I'm wondering is if I Seed of Hope to try to hit my land. And I think I'm kind of okay with that. I feel like I have to hold up the protection. And probably I don't want them getting any benefits out of this summon. So I am going to murder the summon and just hold up, overprotect. The other argument is putting out the Fear of Missing Out so that next turn we can really go in. But I feel like the flexibility here is better. If my opponent was going to animate something from the graveyard, I could have used the Keen Eye to take that out. I could have protected it with the Overprotect. That's where my head was at for that one. But the opponent probably done with me being slow. Oh wait, so the opponent does have stuff like enchantments, and we probably want to be able to destroy enchantments. We do have the Scrap Shooter. When it enters, if it is gifted, destroy an enchantment an opponent controls, and if it is gifted, we gift a card. We also have Paw Patch Formation and Pick Your Poison, so lots of options for hurting the opponent's field. But I'm kind of more concerned about their graveyard. So I think I want Soul Guide Lantern as a way of dealing with that, just to be able to punch out anything. They didn't have Yuna, did they? But they probably do have a Yuna. Next up, I want some amount of graveyard or enchantment destruction. So it's probably going to be this. Pick your poison and the sharpshooter. I think that's fine. Okay, cards that are coming out. I think we can go down 1 Overprotect, 1 Violent Surge, maybe even 2 Violent Surges. I'm not exactly sure if that card is going to be getting us a win here. I feel like we're just either going to run over the opponent or we're going to be in a position where double strike's not really going to matter. Maybe. Who's to say? Another quick little topic to talk about is, I guess, best of 1 versus best of 3. Best of 1. What do you guys think of that format? I did try it a little bit recently, but it is kind of frustrating, isn't it? Opening hand looks fantastic. We have our bestie here. It's not a bestie, it's a beastie, but I'm going to call it a bestie. I'm sure a lot of people do. And we also have the Graveyard Hate with the Soul Guide Lantern, so that's pretty cool. We can also crack this to put it into the graveyard to maybe trigger Delirium at some point in the game. Ooh, we got exorcised. Whoa, an exorcism for my poor artifact creature. It would have been a lot nicer to have that on the field. Still, fear of missing out. If we do this, what are we discarding? The Seed of Hope? Probably. Fear of missing hope on turn 2. Fear of missing hope. Merging cards. You know what? Seed of Hope, I was probably going to use it to draw land anyway, so it kind of works out. Fear of missing out on turn 2 is a pretty good card to have there. And the opponent, it just kind of has our number. Let's Tursa, I think. Now, we have 3 lands. Probably it's okay to discard 1 land. It puts it in the graveyard. We don't draw another land, but that's fine. I think future turns could end up... that could be important. I think land is probably one of the harder cards to put into our graveyard in the end. Now, if you're missing out, I want to be able to kill that, but it might just be a matter of Soul Guide Lantern next turn with a breakout to try to find some... Or do we just go with the... No, I don't want to go with the Wicker Folk yet. Now, I did draw this. I could just murder the fear of missing out like I wanted to. I think it's fine, right? Let's not let them have that on the field whatsoever. Oh, do they have interaction for the Tursa? Whoa, the opponent 2 exercise, and that's what it's called, exercise, right? And get lost. Wow. Well, the good news is I could Wicker Folk. I'm not scared of their graveyard, actually. I'm fine with this, I think. Let's just plow over them. If they want to take 4, if they want to give me their fear, there's no way they're giving me their fear. But it's possible that they'll be able to turn the fear on this turn, which means extra attacks. That could be kind of cool. Overlord of the Mistmoor is going to be a problem for me because it's creating blockers. Okay. Now I'm regretting throwing away that land. Look at that. We could go out with this and this, or we could put out the Keen-Eyed Curator and then start eating stuff. I think I'm fine saying, hey, give me your 2 flyers. We get 2 points of damage in. That also makes sure that our graveyard is staying very healthy, and I'm fine using the Keen-Eyed Curator to eat things instead of the Soul Guide Lantern to exile their graveyard, I think. Man, this deck definitely has some lines that are a little bit brainier than I had expected. Okay, let's get rid of their land, I guess. It's going to be the... it's probably going to hit the fear of missing out the most. They do have to be careful, though. If we draw land, we can break out and Wicker Folk, and that could potentially... Hey, it's a land! Bum, bum, bum. Let's do the breakout. We hit the Keen-Eyed Curator. That's fine. And probably I want to not put out the Soul Guide Lantern. I'm going to use... Oh, they have... Come, what is this? What is this format? Okay, fine. Soul Guide Lantern it is. You've convinced me, opponent. I will put out the Soul Guide Lantern. I might end up just drawing a card with it. Now the opponent is going to get this Overlord of the Mist Moors, and if they get that online, I am very... Well, some opponents draw hot, some players draw less hot. That's crazy. That's crazy. I don't know if they could have really, you know, look at all that removal and threats that are... Well, I mean, that's just what this deck kind of is. Do I draw? I kind of feel like I have to. Which I can't. I gotta wait. And this is really poor, actually, because I can't specifically target this Overlord. This Overlord's going to come in and just destroy us, right? Let's hope something good is on top. The Keen-Eyed Curator's not bad, so what I can do is make sure that the Wicker Folk here doesn't die to these two moths, I guess, insects, whatever they are, and attack in. We can make sure that they don't have Delirium for a double attack with the fear of missing out. But we do go down to 7. Then again, our creature does have trample. But it's just, this is not going to be good enough. Okay. Sacrificing creature with flying is not going to work. So I guess it's load up the Wicker Folk. If we make it... Oh? Is this... What a lethal! I didn't even notice it until I needed it to not... Wow. I needed it to not be a land, and I was so... I don't know. That plan in my head didn't really compute until I saw the Patchwork Beastie on top. Never did I think I could use all 4 of my mana with 4 maps that my opponent so generously donated to me to be able to get just enough damage to go over the Overlord. What? Okay, I think that makes up for that kind of horrendous first game where maybe we could have done a little bit better, but I think being able to eke out a win against this enchantment deck, pretty sweet. Okay, Delirium, not bad. A couple more. Just looking at some news from yesterday's baseball game. Big fan of Korean baseball over here, and my boys, the LG Twins, have been on a... They've been playing poorly, to say the least, and they had a bit of a rough one last night where it was close, it was a good game, but in the end they weren't able to pull off a win. Alright, so the opponent is on the Optimistic Scavenger, which is a sweet card. Do I Keen-Eye, Wicker Folk, or Breakout? I don't know what the best optimal play is. Here we get to start attacking in. Cool. I feel like Wicker Folk is probably better for later turns where we can get a bit of a surprise. We have the Keen-Eyed Curator, which is not going to do anything against the graveyard, but I think it's a 3/3. And the Breakout, also a little bit of a surprise factor for later. So I think I'm going to go with this because I think this card is probably going to get hit by Sheltered by Ghosts because it's such an amazing card. Sheltered by Ghosts is sweet. I think I have so many... Man... Everybody's making such cool decks right now, and there are just so many awesome options to be playing. That's scary. pretty good blocker you have there. Everybody's playing cool stuff, and I keep bookmarking decks that I think look awesome, and the result of that is I don't really know what to play. But there is one deck that I have pretty high up on my should play list, and it is an Azorius enchantment go wide deck. There's the Sheltered by Ghost, and it looks very cool. It plays the Optimistic Scavenger. What are they gonna? You gotta take the Tursa. Yeah, there you go. I think we're very dead. Them getting 6 life a turn here with a card that we cannot interact with, and this game. I suppose there is still a very slight chance that we might be able to do something here. In our graveyard, we have sorcery and a creature. This would give me another artifact, but I don't know if I really want to put the artifact in. Also, I could throw the instant, but I feel like I don't think there's anything that's going to help us win this game. Okay, we're going to do another breakout. We get another one of these things. Well, now things are kind of looking a little neat. Okay. Cool. Do I attack? I think I attack again, right? And if they don't muster 10 damage here, maybe there might be some way for us to find a way to win. But I feel like them having the ability to pump the Optimist up to a 10 power creature is probably not the hardest thing. Ossification gets them one more, and it gets rid of one of our fears. Fear of missing out. Kind of a crazy card. Yeah. And them coming off of the breakout is really sweet. Off of the breakout means that it comes in with haste. And yeah, just like that. Unfortunately, the opponent found it. I don't think there was anything that we could have really done in this matchup. We needed to kill them there. They were gaining too much life. The fact that they had the Sheltered by Ghost is bad. So, what do we need to bring in? I feel like Pyroclasm is a potentially good thing, but probably not the best way to go about it, because they're probably going to get it out of that 2 damage range before I can hit it. Pick your poison. Making your opponent sacrifice an enchantment might be pretty cool, and then being able to just destroy the enchantments is probably going to be important in this matchup. I imagine that's where my head's at. The Overprotect, they might have 2 CMC, or 2 mana to cast that, though. It's pretty brutal. I think I'm going to go down a couple of Violent Urges and maybe trim a little bit here and here. Sheltered by Ghost is obviously going to be a blowout again for us, and we'd like to be able to stop it with the Overprotect, but I don't know if that's even where I want to be. I think I'd rather just destroy the Sheltered by Ghost and get the creature back. Okay, so we have nothing from our sideboard. What the... exercising has become a big part of my life, and of course when people start exercising, they tend to download Strava. And so I have Strava, and I just got a new, I have it for my own personal use. I don't have any friends on there or anything like that, but I just got a message, a new comment from a woman named Sexy Ann. What's Sexy Ann doing? It's just, I don't know, it caught me way off guard. This thing, Ward 1, it's gonna destroy me. I don't have any way to deal with the 4 toughness creature. What a monster. Are we just breaking out? I think so. Okay, Fear of Missing Out. Pretty good. Let's take action here. We'll throw a land into the bin, keep the scry land, and then I guess I attack in for whatever reason. You block it, right? 100% of the time? There you go. It's fine. Okay, now that I'm less distracted by random Apple Watch messages. The opponent definitely like on a budget deck, which is very cool. Blooming Sands. The Artifact Build a Boggle type deck, I think, popularized a little bit by Saffron Olive, is definitely a very cool deck. And now, okay, so what do we do? Destroy target enchantment. We can get rid of the ethereal armor, or we can wait for them to maybe do something more deadlier. I don't think I really care about things. You know what I'm going to do is just attack in, give my beastie a double, and if they decide that they want to block the beastie with one of these attacks, let's go. Let's go. This is going to be real nice. Okay, so then we don't attack again. Oh, we could attack again. Yeah, why not, right? They can only deal 1 damage to its first striking, but there's no way they block it this time. So we get our 3 points of damage through, and then we are going to bushwhack. We are going to bushwhack. It's ward 1. I'm going through the motions just to make sure that we are, in fact, going to be able to kill this armadillo. Pay the 1, and that's huge. Absolutely huge. Okay, surveil a... we keep that on top. And now the position looks fantastic. We also have the paw patch formation, just in case they have something nasty. We decline because we want this. And yeah, we're swinging, right? Why not? No blocks. We attack again, and then I guess we're just holding the seed of hope for the following turn, and I have a feeling that this paw patch formation might be the thing that allows us to get a win on the following turn. So they have a lot of work that they have to do. They have to stop our Delirium, they have to stop this board, and they have an Enduring Innocence. 4 mana is quite a bit of mana, but I don't see it. The Optimist is good though. This card's great. Man, it's so nice to see so many good cards, Wildfire, Wickerfolk, being printed at uncommon. Okay, the Audacity's pretty good here because this gives them some lifelink. However, if they don't attack in, if they're thinking, oh, I'm going to keep the endurance back on defense and be able to life gain when they attack in, they're going to get smacked by this real hard. And then if they attack in with the Enduring Innocence, leaving themselves, oh, well, that's fine. That's only hexproof until end of turn. And I don't think they can really... They can't dodge this much damage. Okay, I guess we take that. It's fine. Gain a little life. Let's mill it. Okay, yeah, good. We didn't want that, and we do want that. So, here's the question. Is this protection, or is this nothing? We could take out the Audacity, or I could just try to patchwork it. Patchwork the Enduring Innocence. I'm gonna take the risk. I don't think there's any world where they have a 1 CMC protection spell. No. Okay. Cool. Hey, they get a little bit bigger Optimist there. And now we get to slam in with the boys. Untap here. Man, Fear of Missing Out is fun. I have not used this card very much. What a busted card it is. Okay, so the opponent did stumble, notably, on this second game. able to take advantage of that. Do I want the scrap shooter? Man, killing enchantments is going to be really important in this matchup, and I feel like this could... 4/4 body is pretty sweet too. It has reach. It could end up being a pretty good blocker if they end up getting flying somewhere. So I think maybe this is good. And then the Keen Eye Curator, you know what? I think I've been keeping the Keen Eye Curator in the deck when maybe I don't need it in the deck that much, because it is a pretty good card. It's a 3/3 for 2, but it's not doing graveyard stuff in this matchup. I don't really care about that. So is it maybe just better to bring in something like the other copy of Tursa, or should I maybe be bringing in the Barrage? What did they load up? They loaded up the Armadillo, they loaded up the Optimist, and the Enduring Innocence. The Barrage might end up being a pretty good card, and the Barrage gets around the Ward. Kind of thinking maybe I bring in both of those now and go down that. Them on the play, I think we need to be a little bit more reactive than proactive. That's kind of where my mind's at. Okay, let's see. Let's go, Johnny. Shuffle. Okay, so you have your Silver Bullet in the form of the Barrage, but you only have 1 mana, and you would need a God Draw. The opponent has mulliganed once, so it's possible that killing one of their creatures, the creature that they're loading up as they are mulliganing, could be massive. But there's no way I can keep this, right? Okay. Coward. Cowardly behavior from old Abogy MTG. No balls. What do you think? Was that a keep? There's no way that was a keep, right? Oh, the breakout's really good. I could throw away a land because I'm probably going to peel a land with the Seed of Hope. But I always say that and then you don't end up finding a land, right? Oh, man. Okay, I'll get rid of a breakout. It's fine, it's fine. I think lands... this can also get something else. This can get us a permanent. Oh. Notable, it's sorcery speed. So, if they end up... Well, it doesn't matter. There's no way they're going to be able to load up a creature and get it out of range in 1 turn. Did they not keep any creatures? That's nuts. I think it's okay to play this out. We'll put out our Patchwork, and then... yeah, start trying to get Delirium working. Maybe it was the fear of missing out there. What do you think? Was it the Patchwork? Because I can't use the Barrage. That was definitely a fear of missing out turn. My mistake. Uh-oh. Okay, so now we're in a position. This deals 1 damage to this green creature. This green creature has Ward 2, which doesn't matter because this can't be countered. But do they have a way of protecting it? Yes! Okay. Oh, what a payoff. What a payoff. Okay, fear of missing out. And... yeah, let's throw the land in the bin. It's fine. And now we're riding high. That's... whew. Oh, and we actually might be able to get, like, the huge swing this turn. That's fine. Oh. Oh. Yeah, I was going to put it on... I was going to break out, but why break out when you can just have it? This is crazy. This is what you want the deck to be doing. Look at this damage. This is 20 damage coming in from the Wicker Folk alone. Wow. Alright. Boggles. Sorry. Good game. Okay. Okay, good game. They could have still had some interaction there. I was a little like, why are they pausing so much? And yeah. Okay, yeah. Delirium. The power output is absolutely insane. I think we did get a little bit lucky. I think the opponent not really functioning games 2 and 3 very well helped us out a lot. But you can really see the power that this deck can put out. Okay, next one. I'm just kind of curious what old Sexy Anne commented on my morning walk. I just, you know, the curiosity is getting the better of me. What did she say? Oh, she said, nice. I don't know, maybe it's just so immature, but I think it's funny. Alright, Bushwhack, go grab this. Anne, I'm sorry, I'm gonna block you. I don't need random people commenting on my morning walks. Alright, while I'm dealing with that, the opponent put out a Builder's Talent to make a 0/4, a card that stonewalls us. Alright, let's put out the Fear of Missing Out. Man, so as a Canadian, there are some cards that I really shouldn't be playing, and I think Fear of Missing Out is one of them. Okay, let's put the Patchwork in the bin. That'll be giving us 3 of our 4 Delirium. And Enduring Innocence. So this deck. Okay, what are we doing? Tursa allows me to get Delirium. Yeah. We'll throw away the Scryland, it's fine. And we attack in. This is fine. Okay. This deck, yeah, is this deck the mono white control, pseudo control token deck? Is that what we're facing? I think so. So we should expect Graveyard Hate, probably, at some point, probably in Game 2, not in Game 1, and we should also expect a super wide board that we're not really going to be able to get through unless we have Trample, and we should also expect board wipes. So there are a lot of things that are potentially destroying us. Let's break out a Keen-Eyed Curator, I guess? And are we breaking out another card? Yeah, let's break out another card. I want to find another Fear of Missing Out. And we miss. But we attack him. It's fine. Nothing dies, but we chip in for 3 damage. This deck is really cool, and I think it has a ton of power. I'm not a fan of control decks. I'm sure people who have watched more of my stuff are well aware of my distaste for control decks. But the reason I don't like control decks is because a lot of the control decks are playing, they play their 25 lands, 26 lands, they play their 30 removal spells, interaction spells, and then they play 1 or 2 win cons, 3 or 4 cards that are a win con, like a Teferi win con is the most obnoxious thing in the world. So, that's what I don't like. You have to discard. I'm going to discard the Violent Urge because I don't know if I'm going to be getting in. Okay, let's attack. Amazing. A 1/4 bird is pretty potent. We're going to put it out and just pray that we're not going to get hit by Sunfall or whatever it is that they're wiping the board with these days. Why is this a 0/4? It's a wall. Oh, it's not the bird. That's cute. It's not the bird. It's the wall that the birds are building, and it's a 0/4 wall because it's called Builder's Talent. And of course, birds are great builders. That is a cute card. United Battlefront. Is this where we die? Oh, they miss. Okay. So they have 1 mana to do something with, but they're going to have a good number of blockers. We do have 2 hasty Wicker Folk coming in, and we do have a Fear of Missing Out that can give us a double attack. But they do have another wall. What is this, America? Some things you say and you regret. Put it in the bin. Didn't need the Seed of Hope. Instead, we get a Violent Urge. Okay, Violent Urge is kind of crazy, right? Do I do it now or do I do it on the next turn? I think I just attack. And let's give the Fear of Missing Out. Ooh, a Bushwhack, you say? This doesn't give Trample as well, right? No, that would be too crazy. So, they are gaining 3 life. They're going up to 20. They're going up to 22. If I do this Violent Urge, this is going to be representing not 20 damage, but it's going to be representing a lot of damage. Oh, this is getting through. And is everything dying? No, their birds are going to survive. I think I take my chance here. Okay. Good. And the Wicker Folk doesn't die. So, they gain, of course, enough life here. They also put a +1/+1 counter on one of their birds, so they can take another 3 points of damage. They could choose not to block at all, but I think they probably should put something in front of it. And now they are down to 5. But 5 is not dead. And I think we are going to remove the bird. I could have gone and fetched a land, but I feel like I want to just make sure they have nothing on the board. That might encourage them to board wipe, though. We do have Trample, or sorry, Haste coming in, but it's only 4 damage, not 5 damage. But it's possible they're kind of playing a heavier token-oriented version of this deck than I tend to see. So it's possible that they're not playing... What's the 4 CMC board wipe called? I don't play it. It's not coming to mind. Okay, they're all in on the United Battlefront. They hit just a single card. They hit a snare. It's a good card, but I'm guessing they're done now. Okay. I can't believe we made it through that. That is pretty impressive. Again, the opponent is going to have a whole bunch of enchantments. I don't know how to deal with this opponent. So I think probably the patchwork formations are going to be good. I feel like this is going to be a bad card. This card's probably going to be pretty good. Keen-Eyed Curator, maybe not going to be the most effective card in this matchup because of the walls. Also, I was kind of looking at the Sunspine Lynx here, but I don't think that's really going to do much because they're playing mono white. We could bring in the Lithomantic Barrage to deal with these walls, but do I really want to... I mean, it sucks, but I think I kind of got to put this on the wall. So maybe that's going to be coming in. We do need to trim a little bit more. Do I want... This is bad. I don't want to give them the choice of being able to exile something. It's like... They're... Yeah. No, I don't like that. If I take out all of my Keen-Eyed Curators, though, I feel like I'm going to be cutting a little bit too much of my attacking. But it's so vulnerable. It's 2 CMC. Are they... No, they're not going to have temporary lockdown. Okay, I'm going to take out the Keen-Eyed Curator. I think it's fine. Still. Yeah, Delirium. Once you get used to this deck, I think there is a tremendous amount of power coming out of this deck, and you're gonna find yourself in a pretty good spot. I'd like to get out the Patchwork, but I could use the Bushwhack or the Seed of Hope to go get a land. But then I think that's just next turn. Let's commercial. Ooh. Oh. Do you keep it? I don't know. I brought it in for a reason. I think I keep it because I did bring it in with intention. So this turn we are going to be definitely going to get a land. Do we do it the hard way or do we do it the guaranteed way? I think we do it the guaranteed way because I don't think the fight on this card is going to work too often. It might be okay. But we put out the beastie. I took a point of damage here where I shouldn't have. I should have just bushwhacked, got the forest, put the forest out, then put out the patchwork, and that would have been a little bit better. What would be cool is if I could exile the Enduring, but I don't think my deck has any ways of exiling things. So, we could smoke it, or we could just Tursa, or we could Seed of Hope. Man, this deck has tons of lines, and I like that, but at the same time, it does make it a little bit annoying. What I think I'm going to do, and I don't know if this is the best thing, but I'm going to get Delirium. Okay, we are attacking in for 6 on turn 3. Enduring Innocence does not take the hit. Okay. I think I'm fine with that. And they're healing up with a carrot cake. Which is pretty cool synergy. Oh, look how cute he is. Rabbits. Man, I want to play rabbits. But the decks that I'm seeing for rabbits don't... I don't know. Something's not jiving with me. Let's throw another one in there. Okay, it's a land. That's good. Whoa, upside. So, I think I'm fine with the Seed of Hope. We grab a forest. Why not? Put the forest down, and I think we're attacking in for 7 now. What we want to find now is probably the double striking card. Next turn, things could get real scary. Do I want to use the barrage now? I think I don't, because I'm trampling, and I have a feeling that a wall, surprisingly, that token wall is going to be a bigger thorn in my side than anything. Crazy to say. They scry to the bottom, draw 1 card, sure, and gain a wee bit of life. I like this card a lot. This is what I think food should be. Yeah. Ossification, pretty good. Now, Paw Patch hitting an ossification doesn't look too bad. Hey, we gained 3 life. So they brought in their removal package. Holy cow. Okay. But they don't have threats. Oh, get rid of those lands. What do we want? Breakout off the top would have been pretty cool. Okay. I guess what it is the Wicker Folk. We attack in with it. Ooh. Makes sense to me. And then I'm going to play out the Patchwork and hold up the Paw Patch formation. Man, these names. Hold up the removal, maybe to get this ossification in a turn. They are making tokens, though. If I use the Paw Patch on this, I'm going to be blanking their card draw. I'm also going to be blanking another blocker on the field. And I don't hate this. Oh, I can't use it. What am I saying? It's not an enchantment. Okay. Draw. Here I am thinking, I changed in my mind, I changed it from Paw Patch formation to removal. And when I changed it to removal, my mind just went, it's removal for everything. Oh, they hit another ossification. Okay, so we are not in a great spot. But I think I kind of want that back. So let's destroy this. Okay. This time, mill or don't mill? Don't mill. Instinct says don't mill. Seed of Hope. Okay. Ooh. Not good. So now they have enough to actually kill our creatures, but I think we have to be aggressive and slam in. Did I take out some of the double strike? I think I did. I took out one. My mistake. Okay. So their board is clean, but we only get in for 1 point of damage. They heal 2, and we're left with a patchwork. I don't like that they're going to be stabilizing and drawing. Enduring Innocence, not having... this deck should... okay, GG. This deck should probably have Torch the Tower in the sideboard. I would say, yeah. Okie dokie. Take action. Okay, ooh. Okay. Well, you know what? I'm not going to show them the barrage. Is this game over? This game's over. They're gaining too much life. They're drawing 2 cards a turn. We're drawing lands. I think I'm just going to go to game 3, where I can maybe be a little bit more aggressive on the play. Since that is the case, do I need as much removal as I brought in? I don't know. Things felt really bad. The Pyroclasms might be good over the barrages. I was kind of like, I'm so worried about the wall, but maybe I just need to keep slamming into the wall and just go Pyroclasm, blow up all of their little 1/1s that are getting in my way, and go from there. Okay. A few too many lands that time against a control deck is not going to go our way. It is what it is. Okay, play first. Opening hand is... wow, it's close. It's close. If it were just one more land. Okay. Still, we're going to be getting frisky from turn 2. Yeah, this is fine. If I draw a land, then we can go Wickerfolk, Patchwork, or Tursa on the next turn. Man, Ossification. Get that garbage out of here. We miss on that. I could just Patchwork. Yeah, let's get value out of it now, I guess. Or should that have been just play out the other Wickerfolk? I'm not sure. Enduring Innocence to be a thorn in my side. It can block, and we're not hitting the Delirium whatsoever. We're not hitting anything. So the option here is to destroy the Enduring Innocence, keep attacking in for 3, or you know what I think it actually is Patchwork, and then hope that these two can maybe start milling stuff into the graveyard. But what I'm afraid they're going to mill into the graveyard is the lands that I desperately need. And they hit a United Battlefront on curve. This could go real bad. It looks like they have options, so might be the end of us. Perilous Snare to take the Wickerfolk. Okay. And they make a baby, draw a card. That's crazy. I love the synergy of this deck. Okay, land 1. Ooh, okay. And okay, well, it got us 2 our land, so that's cool. Tursa time. Tursa puts this in the graveyard that allows my 2 fellas to attack, and I'm attacking in for 9. And then I have the Patchwork Paw formation on the following turn to free this guy over here, and then maybe I can start attacking in for more. I'm really surprised that they didn't double block something. Maybe they have a board wipe. Day of Judgment. That's the card that I was wondering about. Of course it was Day of Judgment. I can take the land, right? It's fine. At a point where I'm just doing what I can. So we overextended. Not hitting, you know what? Notable. Not hitting the FOMO, the fear of missing out, has been a noticeable difference in the power output of this deck. And then when you're running against... This deck kind of like transitioned into kind of a cool deck that has a lot of things going on to removal deck, and now I don't really like my opponent. We hit a Scryland to get rid of a land, and now we're done, right? I have to imagine this is probably one of those decks that people absolutely loathe playing against. It's it has a lot of going for it, a lot of value, and a lot of sustain. Okay. This is I thought that was an enchantment. It's an artifact. Oh, we're so screwed. Okay. I don't even know what I can get off the top now at this point. Fear of Missing Out's pretty good, but I have to imagine they have something to stop it. You have to discard a card, right? And if you... How does this work? When this enters, discard a card, then draw a card. If I had played out my Patchwork, I wouldn't have had anything to discard. Would I have still drawn a card? I think probably I would have. So I probably could have killed the Caretaker's Talent. They find a second one. And make more babies. Drawing more cards. That's 3 cards every rabbit that comes in. This is just the better rabbit deck than the Selesnya aggro rabbits, I think. Ossification. And we're going to see one draw, but our opponent, Gaston Rocco, they have it. That's a land. GG. I'm done. Alright, wrap up. Okay, I don't really have too much to say about this deck. I think it's a fine deck. It has some really good, quick aggro starts. It has a lot of surprise factor with the Breakout, the Wicker Folk having haste, Tursa having haste. So many things can just like suddenly happen, and you saw that one match where the Violent Urge did give our Wicker Folk a ton of damage. In fact, it happened a couple of times. The sideboard, I think we need some kind of exile from it, and yeah, matchups like that mono white one felt really tough. I don't know, outside of like having an ideal draw and the opponent stumbling a bit, I don't think that's really a winnable matchup with this deck. It felt really one-sided. But other matchups, I think this deck has a lot of power to be able to roll over those opponents, so I really like where this deck is at. If you like Delirium and you want to get Gruul with it, go for it. There are other Gruul aggro decks that are in the format, but I think if you're going to go Gruul, this is probably the way to go. What's rotating out? That's something that we should really talk about. This is fine. The Keen-Eyed is fine. The Fear of Missing Out is also fine. So we are going to be losing probably some of these lands. This is definitely gone. This is definitely gone. This one I believe is safe, and this one is definitely safe. So really the deck is not losing all that much. We're going to be getting shock lands as replacements for the fast lands. Probably. I don't know if we're getting the Gruul land in the Edge of Eternities, but it is coming. So maybe the deck will have a little bit of a problem with lands for a slight bit of time, but then in the end we should be, you know, hunky-dory. So I think this deck is fine to keep around. Plays well. It's kind of fun. And it does Gruul stuff. So if you follow me through this video, thank you very much. Have a good night, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.